About 1 week had passed since we came through the fog. The monarchy, the desert culture, the way the people lived. I'd gathered enough information to spend at least a day poring over. Although I was no expert, so I couldn't give any kind of detailed analysis. But the other day in town is what left the biggest impression. The other day. Is this the old man? Yes. Okay, where we learned about Jevite's mom and stuff. What was the context leading up to this? What am I going to send? Adage didn't have anything. What did I do last time? Was it the food? It might have been local I think I did the local government last time. Food? I think I'll write about the food. They've got all kinds of sweets, like nothing you've ever tasted before. Ulrik is in heaven. Apparently I should have done that the first time. Oh well, Ulrik is still trying to butt his way in here. Finished. Here you go, Ulrik.
Okay, great. Now deliver this to Elt. Fly away!
Go, bird, go.
What do we do if that thing fails and crashes out in the desert?
Then our line of communication is severed. But don't worry, I know Elt will come.
You can say that for certain?
He might be annoying as hell, but that's just the kind of guy he is. So, what should we do until he gets here? The usual?
I feel bad about relying on Jevite's hospitality so much, so I was thinking we might find a way to give back to this country.
Give back, huh?
Yes. Within our ability, of course, although they may not need it. They've been providing and caring for us, so we should at least return their kindness.
I like that idea. I'm not sure what I can do, but I'll try to figure out something.
You're such a suck-up. Fine, I'll help out too. It's not in my nature to let other people take care of me. Hey, you're thinking about how I let Elt take care of me, aren't you? That's different. I never asked for his help.
I didn't say anything! With the carrier pigeon on its way, it seemed time to say goodbye and go back to our separate rooms. Just as we were leaving, Adage called for us to wait. Ah yes, tell us about the Queen Mother. What is it?
Did the Queen Mother pay the rest of you a visit?
Was she supposed to? When?
I'm not sure. I guess it depends on the person. In my case, it was last night.
Last night? What for?
Hell if I know. She invited me for a drink, but I didn't feel like joining her, so I politely declined. Spending time face to face like that with someone I just met would have been torture. She couldn't have picked a worse person for a cultural exchange. I thought she would have gone to see the rest of you, too. But apparently not. Why was it only me?
I wonder if Adage will come to the conclusion, like, it's because I was a doctor, wasn't it?
Who knows? We all saw her when Jevite was showing us around town. You're saying you met with her personally?
Hardly. When she came to my room, I didn't even know who she was until she explained herself. And when I declined, she just politely said, "Next time," and left without pressing the issue. I have no idea what she wanted.
So she visited Adage in private. I wonder... Yeah, let's feed the ego this time after knocking it down a few pegs last night. Ulrik and Finn's face is like, what? And Adage's like, yes, and? What about it? Maybe she likes you, Adage.
What?
I'm just speculating, but it's a possibility. If she fell in love with you at first sight, then it makes sense that she would have come to visit you.
It sounds plausible enough. But him?
What are you saying, Finn? Look at him. He's gorgeous.
Don't point your finger at me. People fall for me all the time. I happen to be exceptionally handsome.
Damn straight.
If only your inside matched your outside.
So you agree that his outside is handsome?
Exactly. They say that heaven never blesses you twice. Well, it seems we won't reach any answers like this.
Yeah. Sorry we couldn't be more helpful.
It's not your fault. At the time, I was more concerned with shutting the door than learning her intent, so I'm the one to blame. We can't just ignore her due to her status, but we should probably be more guarded around her. I read a book once long ago that said you can't trust women with a sweet scent.
Was this from your private collection?
Yes, it was.
Figures. You could at least read a real book once in a while.
I'll have you know I read medical texts all the time.
Wow, it's worse than I thought.
You should lend him a book, Ulrik. Sheesh. Several days later...
I can't believe they went for it. You're a skilled negotiator.
You can thank Jevite for understanding that we'd all benefit. When I told him I wanted to know more about medicine in this country and proposed an exchange of information, he agreed at once. Nice! Exchange of medical knowledge. I like that. It sounds like the doctor is out, but you're free to visit the treatment room up ahead if you'd like.
What's the point if there's no doctor? I suppose it's better than being refused outright, though.
Oh, Adage, it's this way.
I didn't realize there was another corridor over here. You know a lot about this place.
I've completely memorized the layout of the palace. Just the parts I'm allowed to visit, of course.
Teacher's pet. Memorize the restricted areas too, then I'll be impressed.
Oh yeah?
I used to sneak into restricted areas all the time when I was a student. Like at the temple. I can't remember exactly where now, but there was a storeroom full of banned books.
Oh yeah, right.
It held all the ones that had ever been confiscated in the Heights. A veritable gold mine. I guess they never imagined that someone would break in to take them. Security was a joke.
You're admitting this to a police officer.
Are you still on the clock here in Cainabel? Even if you are, there must be a statute of limitations. This was over a decade ago.
So you used to be a little delinquent, huh?
What do you mean, used to? I still am. I'm antisocial with a terrible personality. I can hardly boil an egg, and I'm physically weak. I'm a failure as a living being. Inferior. Recessive.
No! Don't bring back the recessive! Gosh dang it! Oh, I forgot about that word, and that triggered my PTSD, Adage.
But somehow I managed to keep on living. Lucky me, right?
I wanted to tell him not to be so hard on himself and that he was a wonderful person. Then do so! It was easy enough to say the words, but I felt like I didn't know him that well yet. Anything I said would be meaningless. It would carry no more weight than a feather. I don't think he wants me to agree or share my thoughts. He's just venting to himself. It's so frustrating that all I can do is listen. Aw, Cyrus, find a way, please. This looks like the place.
Wow.
What do you think?
You expect me to have an opinion formed already? Give me some time.
Sorry. First impressions, no? Adage set his bag down on a chair and slowly surveyed the room. He picked up each implement one at a time, examining them with great interest.
They have an ample supply of medicinal herbs. Their knowledge of pharmacology is better than I expected. Everything seems primarily faith-based.
Faith-based?
A method of treating illness by invoking supernatural powers. It tends to involve prayers or the ritual summoning of spirits. It has no basis in science. I can't ridicule it, though. We also believe Saint Yune is a divine being, and he provides spiritual support. The mind and body are inseparable. In other words, faith is medicine. That said, if I'm presented with a life that can be saved, I'd rather not entrust it to some invisible force. Although I'm not comfortable outright rejecting their methods either, so I'm not really sure what to do.
Adage's taking this so seriously. I was used to seeing his more cynical side, so this new attitude surprised me. This is when you're like, wow, you're so handsome. I mean, I feel like this is just like, yes and. You know what? I know last time I was like, don't feed the ego. Apparently I've thrown that all out the window for this episode. But in this case, we didn't just talk about how attractive he is. So I think this would mean more in this scenario, and he probably wouldn't expect it, so... I also just want Cyrus to say he looks dashing. So, here we go. Hey! Yeah, there it is! How are we doing with you, by the way? Status. Oh, we full up! Yeah! Nice. That's what I love to see. Clues. You look so dashing, Adage.
It's about time you noticed. Wait, where is this coming from?
Yeah, even still, he's yes and then, hold on a minute. That came out of nowhere. Oh, I'm sorry. You just seemed so serious. It left an impression, I guess.
That's all it took, huh? You must not think very much of me.
No, that's not what I meant.
Stop talking. You're not the type of person who typically says things like that. It feels nice to hear it from your lips.
Thanks.
Don't say it to anyone else. It will only cheapen the sentiment.
Ah, yes, that's the reason. Okay. I won't. Adage, people often tell you that you're different, don't they?
The same as you, I imagine. Most girls wouldn't become a police officer.
You think so? I don't think it's that odd.
You patrol the streets and arrest criminals to maintain order. It's an especially thankless job in a world where peace is taken for granted. And if you mess up, they won't hesitate to tear you to pieces. I guess police and doctors are similar like that.
Aw, look at the two of them bonding.
I have a basic understanding of their facilities. I'd like to observe a surgery if possible, but I suspect that would be asking too much.
Oh, there was a hospital in town, too. What if we tried them?
In town, huh? I'm interested, but no. This place probably has the best medical technology the country has to offer, and I doubt the hospital will want to deal with an outsider who isn't even a patient. Sorry for getting you roped into something that's outside your expertise.
Not at all. I'm glad I could be of service.
So formal. I guess you're always like that, though.
I wonder if I should try being more casual with him. I thought back to what I almost said a few minutes earlier. Oh, yeah. Hey! I love the conversations between Adage and Cyrus, because it goes from, like, the most technical, serious conversations to then the next minute, you look very handsome. And neither of them misses a beat. They kind of take it in stride, maybe question it for like half a second, and then like, okay, cool, moving on to the next thing. I just love how they interact with each other. It's so funny. I get whiplash from the subject changes, but the two of them are like, huh? Oh, it's great. You're a wonderful person, Adage.
Huh? Where's this coming from?
Well, you were being so hard on yourself before, and I respect your dedication to medicine. I think you're a really great person.
Huh. Do you now?
I'm being serious. I really mean it.
I see. Well, thank you. But it doesn't matter.
Why not?
You know next to nothing about my past. All you've heard is what I've told you. Defending me when you have such superficial knowledge doesn't mean much.
I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for? Save it. I never asked you to. I'm the one who should be apologizing. My feelings get all mixed up whenever I think of you.
Oh?
I don't mean anything when I lash out. I'm just being immature, like always.
Adage. I'm sorry for speaking out of turn. We've spent so much time together that I feel like I do know you, but there are still so many mysteries. Like how you have some memories that are just too painful to talk about. But I wasn't trying to defend you with what I said earlier. It's just how I really feel. No matter what happens, as far as I'm concerned, you're worthy of respect.
Respect, huh?
You don't believe me?
It's not that. If you said it, I know it must be true. But I'm not the kind of person you think I am.
Let's see. You're not good with vehicles, your words and actions are strange sometimes, and you make me really uncomfortable with your bad jokes.
Hey.
But even with all of that, I still think you're admirable.
I can't tell if you're complimenting me or insulting me.
Why can't it be both? When it comes to people, you take the good with the bad.
You're not wrong about that.
Aww, so nice. Yes, I mean true. We are not getting into the very dark nitty-gritty with Adage that we did in his original route, but he's actually opened up a lot about some of that stuff to us, even if it's small things in passing like the recessive comment, which we don't understand now, but I do from back then. So they're handling this pretty good, I think, so far. Anyway, several days later... I wonder what else I can write on. The blank volume I had brought with me from the Heights was filled from cover to cover with my notes. Jevite had given me 3 extra scrolls used for record keeping at my request. I was on the second one now and probably more than halfway through. I couldn't tell if I was happy or worried. My brush suddenly paused in midair. I've written everything I know about the culture, so next should be... the monarchy? Okay, she's gonna write about the monarchy. We can probably skip that. Mom's come to visit. Wonderful. Goodbye. Okay, yeah, we don't need to hang out with Jevite all the time. But there is something with Jevite that we do need to keep in mind. So what are we doing here? Ah, he wants to elope. Would we marry him? So, with Jevite, I didn't realize this the first time I played through. So, thankfully Mora let me know that when I'm doing the Jevite side of the story, I need to get a couple of affection points with him once the route has branched off. Otherwise, you miss out on extra scenes with the boys. So, I didn't realize that. And that means I missed out on at least 1 extra scene with Ulrik, maybe 2. So later, this is just a heads up, later when we do Ulrik's epilogue stuff, I'm probably going to include those extra scenes at some point. But now I need to keep that in mind, going forward for Adage, and then once again for Finn, and then we'll be good. So last time I told Jevite, I can't elope with you, obviously, but now we're just gonna ... him, and Adage will like that later, hopefully. There we go. If only I could have expressed my reservations clearly, but for some reason the words wouldn't come. Maybe it's because this is my chance to pay him back for everything he's done? Don't elope with a guy to pay him back, Cyrus. I couldn't say. Something was holding me back, and I didn't know what. It's me. Cyrus, it's me.
Huh? I'd assumed you would flat out refuse. Are you actually considering it?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer.
Well, in my humble opinion, if you're reluctant, you should just refuse. You only get my hopes up otherwise.
You know what? That's wise words right there. Good on you, Jevite.
The question doesn't have a right or wrong answer. Listen to your feelings. You know, if this is a bargaining tactic on your part, then you have my respect. Well done, naughty girl.
Don't call her a naughty girl, Jevite. Naughty girl? That wasn't my intent at all. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
Oh, Sob, you don't have to act so polite. It figures you wouldn't do it on purpose. Of course, that's naughty in its own right. I don't mind. If anything, it only makes me more interested.
Grand. Well, then we'll just continue on from there. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The stabbing's happening now. For some reason I thought, oh yeah, of course. I don't know why I thought that Eltcreed was gonna visit right then and there. He comes after the attempted assassination. Okay, let's start here, because, I mean, this is an important part of the story, and Adage plays a big role in it too. So, here we go. The nights were quiet in Cainabel. Even the cold that snatched away the desert heat couldn't penetrate the many layers of bedding I was under. When I shut my eyes, it felt just like being back in the Heights. Except there was something different tonight. Strange sounds disturbed the silence, like the ripples on a pond. I slowly awoke from my slumber. Footsteps and some sort of commotion. The restlessness on the other side of the door reminded me of waking up in the call room at work when an incident broke out. At least there's no alarm this time. But I was getting an uneasy feeling. The lack of voices wasn't helping. Well, I won't learn anything waiting around here. The disquieting sounds quickly faded into the distance and then suddenly stopped altogether. My fear only grew with the silence. Something was definitely happening just on the other side of my door. I should try to see what's going on. I took up my sword, just in case, and opened the door. And on the other side, I found... That's... blood. The floor was covered in blood. But whose? What on earth?
Huh? What's that?
Adage!
Hey, what happened?
I don't know. By the time I got here, the hallway was already empty. Investigations like this were typically handled by specialized detectives. I didn't have the qualifications or the experience necessary. But I'm the only police officer here, so I'll have to do it. If only Finn were here with me. I followed the trail of blood as I spoke to Adage. That's Jevite's room. His door was slightly ajar. An ominous feeling crept over me as I paused at the threshold. This is no time to be timid. I have to hurry. I grasped the handle and flung the door open.
Is that Jevite's blood?
I don't know. There isn't anyone here.
I can see that. What are you standing around for? Let's go.
Go? Before I could ask where to, Adage stepped out in front of me. His eyes narrowed as he held up the bag he had brought with him from the Heights.
To the patient. We're bound to find them if we keep following this trail of blood.
Adage said, taking off at a brisk walk. I followed behind him as if pulled by his momentum. You're so calm, Adage.
You can't be a doctor if you panic at the sight of blood. I've got a bad feeling about this, though. It doesn't look good. But let's hold judgment until we get there.
What? Don't talk like that. We don't even know if it's Jevite's blood.
I never said it was. You're the one jumping to conclusions here, not me.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Forget it. You have nothing to apologize for, and given the circumstances, well, no, never mind. It's not my job to question who or why. My job is to keep people alive. That's all I can do. Cyrus!
Finn!
Thank goodness. I was so worried. When I came back to the palace, there was all this blood in the hall. I was afraid something might have happened to you. So everything's fine as long as she's okay? Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Sorry. Unlike you, I happen to be a little on edge about this whole situation. Wait, I hear voices.
Me too. They're coming from that direction. The trail of blood led to the treatment room I had visited with Adage the other day. Adage may be a little bit more familiar with the stuff going on too, which would be interesting. It sounded like there was a crowd of people inside. The din of voices grew louder with each step we took.
What's the smoke?
It smells sweet. I think it's incense.
Seriously, is that supposed to help?
So smoky. Excuse me? The smell inside was overpowering, and I fell into a coughing fit. Through a veil of purple smoke, I saw an old man wearing animal skins. His head was adorned with the bones of some sort of carnivore, and I couldn't make out his face. He was fervently chanting in front of Jevite, who lay sprawled out on a bed in the center of the room. Is this some sort of ceremony? Precious jewels were spread out across the room, blocking our path.
What are you doing? Out of the way!
Adage pushed me aside and approached the bed, stepping on jewels as he went. He extended a hand to examine Jevite, but the old man quickly batted it away.
Be gone, Kasharak! Do not interfere with the ceremony!
I see. It's like talking to a wall.
Adage glanced at the old man before roughly stripping away the cloth covering Jevite's body. The flowers and offerings that had been placed on his chest clattered to the floor along with a metal plate.
What are you doing?
Surgery. I'm about to save your precious king.
Ridiculous. What could a Kesharak like you possibly do?
What good are you if you're just going to stand by and watch him die? He's still breathing. Hey, Cyrus, this guy is in the way. Get him out of here.
But I can't just... This country has its own way of doing things.
Do you want to watch Jevite die too?
I didn't say that! But your belittling attitude is only going to provoke them.
If prayers could save lives, I would pray until my voice gave out. But this is reality. It isn't God who saves lives, it's people. Put your faith in me, not some absurd magic.
Adage wasn't wrong. At the very least, his argument resonated with my sense of rationality. But we were in Cainabel. Their culture was different from ours. Was it really okay to trample on their beliefs in the name of doing the right thing? I want to save Jevite's life, but I don't want to disrespect their culture.
Cyrus. Once long ago, Heshera, the god of medicine, released the sacred bird Pesachet into Cainabel to stop the spread of a plague. We are the descendants of Pesachet. Please, give us this space.
Finn's voice cut through my internal conflict. He spoke smoothly and softly, like he was reading a story from a book.
You Kesharak are descended from Pesachet.
Yes, we came from beyond the fog to help Cainabel now, in its moment of crisis. It isn't a coincidence. It's the will of Heshera. We have secret knowledge. Please give us the room.
Descendants of the sacred bird. You must save our king.
Yes, we will. It just won't be me personally.
Finn breathed a sigh of relief as he bolted the door.
Whew. That was tense.
Impressive. I could almost kiss you.
What? Come on, don't be creepy.
That was obviously a joke. Bah. I'm starting treatment now. Better late than never, I suppose.
Adage set his bag down on a chair and quickly arranged his equipment on the table. I called out to him from a distance so I wouldn't get in the way. How does it look?
Too soon to say. The bleeding has stopped, at least. It appears to have been caused by a laceration. The wound isn't terribly deep, but it's quite long. It caused significant blood loss. If I had to guess, he was slashed from behind.
By who?
How should I know? I'm not a coroner or a police officer. If anything, you should be the one telling me.
Actually, that work is typically left to the special investigators. My job would be to preserve the crime scene.
Thanks for that fascinating tidbit. His breathing is shallow and his color is pale. That's consistent with the degree of blood loss I'm seeing. Ugh. There's so much to do, it's making my head hurt. First I need to know his blood type, then find a suitable donor, explain what a transfusion is, persuade them to donate. And in the meantime, he's liable to succumb to his injuries.
I wonder if that's all Adage did when Cyrus wasn't here. It just took longer? That also might be why Jevite took a little longer to recover. I think he took longer to recover when we were on Eltcreed's side of things. So, I mean, it's not impossible that that's what happened.
Don't be so pessimistic.
I was just processing likely outcomes. You don't have to snap at me. All I can do is give it my best effort and pray to their so-called god of medicine.
Does the transfusion have to come from another Cainabel citizen?
What do you mean?
I have a unique kind of blood. Apparently, I'm a universal donor.
Ah, yes. The so-called golden blood.
So would it work?
I believe so, yes. It shouldn't matter where you're from. Even lamb's blood has been used in the past. Take a seat there, Cyrus. I'll perform the transfusion directly from your elbow. Finn, help me lower Jevite to the table.
Are you sure this is all right?
That's a question for the donor. All I have to do is insert a needle. Don't worry, I'll make sure she's fine. I'm not about to have you spilling my blood.
My sword thirsts for blood.
Now you're cracking jokes. I'm surprised you're so calm. That's good at least. I don't like having overly sensitive types near me. I find anxiety to be infectious. Everything's ready on this end. All that's left is to stick you with this needle.
That's a lot bigger than the ones used for immunizations.
Yes, you'll feel a sharp prick, but try to bear the pain.
I'll be alright. I'm used to getting hurt in my line of work.
I knew I could count on you.
Alright. We shall talk with Adage. I'm surprised you were prepared for a transfusion. You anticipated something like this could happen?
It was just happenstance. The equipment is small and doesn't take up much space, so I brought it. And I'm glad I did. Nothing is harder than watching someone die who could have been saved. What? You're surprised to see that even I have a beating heart in my chest. Sorry to disappoint you.
I didn't even say anything. Of course I'm not disappointed. And I'm not surprised either. I know you have a heart in your chest. Even if it is a strange one.
Should have quit while you were ahead.